That's great. I am going to, perfect. Hi everyone. So today we're joined by Vicky and we are going to chat you through a non-surgical facelift. It's such an exciting treatment because we actually launched this back in January. So we haven't actually really been able to kick off with it at all, kind of due to the fact that we've been closed since the end of March. So this kind of live is kind of like a treatment launch in itself, which is quite exciting. It's a brand new treatment that probably a lot of you haven't heard us talk about because we haven't had the opportunity to. A few of you have already had the treatment, which is great, and your results have been fantastic. So what is a non-surgical facelift? Well, believe it or not, now we're in 2020, we can have non-surgical treatments, which is fantastic. So basically, the pyramid facelift is what it basically says it does. It's a multi-dimensional non-surgical facelift that offers 3 anti-aging benefits in just 30 to 45 minutes. It can offer you dermal volumization, skin tightening, and resurfacing all in the one single treatment. And it's when we combine these 3 technologies in the one treatment that give us fantastic aesthetic results. It's probably, would you agree, Vicky, one of the most result-driven treatments that we offer?
Oh yeah, it's amazing. I'd only done a couple of these before we finished for lockdown. Well, I'd done a course and then done it on like for scarring, and the results were phenomenal. Yeah, really good. Within, really quick, really quick results.
Quick results as well. So some of Vicky will chat you through the 3 main components and how they work to kind of remodel, restructure and revive the skin. One of the technologies is Voluderm, the second is Trifractional, and the third is radiofrequency and muscle activation. And it can offer kind of 6 different benefits to the skin. It can help with dermal volumization, so it gives dermal fillers a run for its money pretty much. It can resurface the skin. So say, for example, you are looking at getting, let's say, Botox, but you've already got quite significant deep lines there. This can really help to soften them before you decide to have some sort of procedure like that. It helps with skin tightening, skin rejuvenation, facial contouring, and scarring, like Vicky has just said. It's probably most suited for those women aged 30 plus, because it is generally a skin treatment that is designed to lift, smooth, and firm the face. And it'll leave you looking and feeling so much more youthful. It's effective, it's safe, and the results are so long lasting. And people compare the results to kind of a mini facelift, but without having to go for surgery. So Vicky, do you want to chat us through why the 3 main components, what they do to the skin, and why when they're used together, they work so effectively?
Yeah, so the first part of the pyramid facial is what we call Voluderm. So it's a handheld machine. We have a wand and we have a safe, sterile tip that we attach to it, and each client has their own. So it's no cross-contamination. So the Voluderm tip is the one that we'd put on first. And I can't remember the size of the needles because it was so new for us. But
they're very small. They're tiny.
Yeah, they're really tiny, and they penetrate into the skin. But they also have a microcurrent of radio frequency running through them as well. So that is like state-of-the-art technology.
Absolutely.
So what that does, it heats the area around where the little tiny needle goes in, so you get a bigger area that's treated.
Fantastic.
So Voluderm is, as it sounds, it's for loss of volume, skin tightening, because it works at a deeper level. It really helps to lift and firm, so particularly around anybody that's got any concerns with jowls, sagging skin, neck, we can do like a neck lift, and it is fantastic at remodeling the skin and lifting and firming. We can go quite close around the eyes, so we can work on any fine lines and wrinkles around the eye area, and just overall lifting, firming, tightening. And what it does, it increases the collagen and elastin in the skin.
Fantastic.
It does a lot more than that as well, but very briefly, that's what it does.
Exactly.
So
I should have said actually, before we start, I would like to make this quite interactive. So if you've got any questions from what we're saying or what we're talking about, please just stick them in the comments box and we will answer them kind of ad hoc when we go to check them. Anyways, yeah, Voluderm. So is it painful? Do you feel, because when people sometimes feel, oh, it's maybe needles, will it hurt?
Right, so for this one, we don't numb the skin like we do for the skin pen, and that's because to start off the treatment, we use the radio frequency to warm the skin. So we heat the skin to between 40 and 42 degrees, and this is an optimal temperature for collagen reproduction and elastin. So because the skin's warm and then the microcurrent is also warm, it's like a buzzing feeling. So it's quite comfortable. Sensitive areas around the eyes, around the mouth and on the neck, that's thinner skin. So but it's a really quick treatment. So it's over, before you know it.
And as well, it's different. It is not a standard facial for skin health. It is a non-surgical facelift. So you can expect slight discomfort with anything that's going to give you superior results. It kind of is just sort of a price that you've got to pay if you want the results, really. So we've done the volume.
People have been really surprised. The people that I treated, they were really surprised at how comfortable it was without any anesthesia. So
fantastic. So we have needled the skin, we've volumized the deep dermal layer of the skin. We're then moving on to Trifractional. So tell us a little bit about how Trifractional works.
So Trifractional works in the top layers of the skin. So we're resurfacing. So this is all about those top layers of dead skin that's ready to come off. So what we're doing is we're forcing it. So it's called ablation. So what we do, we heat again, it heats up the skin. So the needles are wider this time, so wider and flatter. So they're just going to treat the top layers of skin. And again, it heats the skin. And what that does is it encourages the body's own self-healing mechanism to kick in. It gets rid of those skin cells really quickly.
Yeah, the dead ones.
Yeah, and in turn what that does, it helps resurface the skin. So it helps smooth, brighten, exfoliate basically. So it's a really deep exfoliation, and what that does is it helps with things like pigmentation, helps with acne scarring, overall texture and tone of the skin. So sometimes you get like it's a little bit like cellulite. It's like really uneven skin. What that does is really helps to smooth out the skin's texture.
Kind of like polishing the surface of the skin. Yeah. If that skin's got that crepiness that you can kind of develop as we age, it can just literally buff that off the surface. And we'll show you a couple before and afters where it really, really highlights that. So that component works so effectively on aging skin, or even, like you say, scarring as well. So then we're moving on to radio frequency and muscle activation. These are two fantastic technologies. What do they tend to do? If we're looking at, say, anti-aging, where you've got a client, let's say, in their 50s, 60s, and they're wanting, because we get this inquiry a lot, lower part of the face, it sags, it drops down. Radio frequency and dynamic muscle activation can be so effective in treating that. Do you want to explain a little bit about how they work and what benefits somebody should expect from having that on the skin?
Yeah, so radio frequency we've been using for a long time.
Yeah.
One of our first machines was a radio frequency machine, and it's the tripolar technology, which is again state of the art. So what it does, it heats up the skin. You don't feel it, you just feel a warmth.
So
You don't feel a
relaxing.
current.
Yeah.
With just the radio frequency. And what that does, it works on improving the skin cells, the skin turnover, the skin health. It works on really encouraging new collagen and new elastin, which in turn will tighten and lift the skin. So we can concentrate on the jawline. So with the other two as well, you're getting that three-pronged approach, which is really going to help to lift and firm that neck area.
And you know what I love about radio frequency as well? Even, you know, sometimes you can get them really, really fine lines, let's say on your forehead or something.
Yeah.
It completely like lifts them out, doesn't erase them, but it completely plumps them out. It's fantastic at doing that. And especially like, right, you know, around the eye area as well.
Yeah.
You can see a noticeable improvement even after just one treatment.
Yeah.
You see such an improvement. So then you're like, well, I just want to continue. I want to do another one because I want to see how far my improvement can go. And dynamic muscle activation as well. This is another great benefit of the pyramid facelift because it's included in the treatment. Usually we do it as like an add-on if, for example, we feel that you need it. But to be perfectly honest, pretty much anybody 30, 35 plus will benefit from muscle stimulation. And that is pretty much what dynamic muscle activation is doing. So when we work with the dynamic muscle activation, what area of the face are we typically working with?
Again, the jaw area. We tend not to go sort of above the cheek, just because it can have the opposite effect. Yeah. So yeah, we concentrate on this.
So what can somebody, let's say, after having, so we would generally recommend with the pyramid facelift, you would tend to have 3 sessions of the pyramid facelift, and that would kind of be sustainable. So you do that one program every 12 months. And then what you do in between that is maintain it with standard skin health treatments. So what we mean by, let's say, standard skin health treatments is the likes of the oxygeneo or chemical peels or kind of light to medium resurfacing treatments. That will really, really help to maintain your results. So you do kind of a program of 3 once a year, and your results continue to work after you've had the treatment as well. So what we'll do, we'll show you a couple before and afters, and then everything we've said in terms of technology will make sense because you'll be able to see it. Right. Let me just put this on. Okay, great. So this is a big improvement here. And exactly like Vicky was saying, both with the resurfacing of the skin and also the volumization is phenomenal. And this particular client, she only had the pyramid facelift without the need of anything else on top of that. Obviously, she would have maintained it with medical grade skincare in between, but that's a fantastic result there. So we'll move to the next one. Again, Vicky, like you were saying, with the volumization, specifically around that lower part of the face, which shows signs of aging quite quickly, because unfortunately gravity is about, it pulls everything down. That is what pulls our skin and makes it look saggy. Whereas what we want is it to be plump. So this is what this type of treatment does.
Yeah, and you can see around her chin, like on the first picture, the skin's really uneven, and look how smooth it is on the second picture.
Amazing. That's like a different skin, like
yeah, like